I had to close it down recently, but out for a while there, I was actually giving away free copies of Iron Mountain to anyone who would promise to review it. So I had a program going where, if you would agree to review it and post your review on Amazon or Smashwords, I would go ahead and give a e-copy of the book to you for free. So occasionally, especially if you join the mailing list that I got there set up, I give away free stuff all the time. We do all kinds of interesting things there.
Oh, that would be great. Any contests that you're doing or giveaways, let me know. I'll put it out over the network.
Oh, sure. Well, we do have this one thing going on right now, which I think you and your listeners will be, or your listeners will be interested in, is that we actually are doing something called the Meltdown Zone at Flotilla. So this is actually a real-time digital playground where we're actually creating the meltdown in progress. And so if you go there, I think it's FlotillaOnline/meltdown. We already posted one video. One of our guys did a video with his son where they talk about what would happen if the world started melting down in your backyard. And so that was a lot of fun. And so we encourage other people. A couple of other videos are on their way in. We're producing them now so that people can go, hey, this is what it would be like. And we're making that into a real-time experience people can interact with.
Wow. Wait, I'm there right now. I just went to it. So they can upload their own videos or stories?
Yeah, they can upload their own stuff, I think, if they want. What I was doing was offering people, especially if they don't have access to, like, film editing and stuff like that, we have that. And so they can just film their, like, YouTube video, something they shoot with their camera or whatever, or camera phone, and then send that to us. We'll download it directly from YouTube, reproduce it, and edit it in with the different effects and whatnot, and then it can be a part of the story.
Oh, wow, this is really cool. Yeah, people like interactive stuff like that these days. They want to have as much interactivity as they can. And if they can be part of the story, it makes it all that much funner and realistic. I do video product reviews almost every week, but maybe I'll add something to this.
Yeah, no, we'd be delighted to have it, man, because we've got other people sending stuff in, too. If you watch that one video that he shot, we had some fun adding some stuff in there to just basically say, found footage over in Lake Tahoe area, blah, blah, blah. But, nobody ever puts Lake Tahoe in a zombie movie. Nobody ever, you never see the world coming to an end in Lake Tahoe. And so that's probably true of your town or my town or anywhere else. It's always, the world is always melting down in some big city like Chicago, but what happens if it's in the suburbs of Indiana? So I want to be able to show people that.
Well, if people want to send you their own meltdown videos, I will give a free 1-year subscription to the best 5 videos that are sent to you.
Sweet. And you know what we should do? We should do a contest. We'll have them on there, and then we can vote on them through disaster survival.
Sounds good to me. We'll set it up.
Cool. Awesome. I love that idea.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about Iron Mountain now, the next series in the books. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little about where Iron Mountain starts out or leaves off from Flotilla.
Yeah, so as you said, we end the story with Jim escaping this meltdown. In Iron Mountain, it continues that story of Jim escaping the disintegrating West Coast aboard his dad's fishing boat. Of course, it's a new book. He's meeting new people. Those faces might either be friends, they might be deadly enemies, and he's going to have to make some tough choices. Ultimately, Jim is just trying to search for a safe place for himself and his sister, but that search is going to lead him to make some very tough choices, and he's going to have to survive that, or actually face up to a lot of things he was never planning to, especially at his age. Ultimately, as you navigate that book, by the time you're done, he might survive. I'm not going to guarantee it, but nothing is going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where you're going to go in Iron Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, and it takes you up the
now,
like I said, everything's real, right? Everything's 150% real. So you can take all the coordinates of the book, plug them into Google Maps, and follow his progress throughout the book.
What do you think about kids in the United States right now? Do you think they're spoiled, that they have too much and they don't know enough about survival?
I think
my grandfather, right?
I think they're a product of their environment, right? They're as tough as you expect them to be. They are as aware as you expect them to be, and they are as prepared as you expect them to be, right? That's ultimately the comment. I don't blame the kids, right? When you got kids and you feel they're too soft or whatever, I don't look at the kids. I look at the parents. I look at my son and I go, well, how do I help him, right? So we go out and we backpack and we camp and we prepare and we talk about our evacuation plans together. Like, what happens if, something happens at school and Daddy can't get to you? What do you do? How do you call Mommy and Daddy? Stuff like that. He's 7, right? So we have to talk to him in those terms. I'm not trying to freak him out, but that has to be a part of the conversation. So I don't.
No, absolutely.
I'm sorry. You were saying about your granddad?
Oh, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. We try to do the same thing here at the Disaster Survival Network with preparing and going on camping and stuff like that. And we encourage people to become preparedness leaders in their community, to start their own survival network. And what's a good game and tool for this? Conflicted. Have you played Conflicted?
No, I haven't.
You've heard of it though, right? The survival card game.
No, I haven't. Conflicted?
Yes, Survival Logics. They make this prepping card game where it's like 52 cards, like a regular deck of cards, but on the back each one has a different survival scenario, and you play it with like a group of people. Yeah. And here I'll read one of them.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Martial law has been declared, and police and military are going house to house looking for food, water, and other supplies to confiscate. Your supplies are well hidden and would not be found through normal questioning and searching procedures. However, the official coming to your house is a relative and knows what you have. He informs you that it is his duty to take your supplies, or he will arrest you and your family if you refuse. How would you address the situation? So it's loaded with all these different questions to make you think what you would do in real survival situations. And you go around in a circle, and you can kind of get an idea of who you would want to bring with you, and it really puts you in the survival prepping mindset. And it's a good training tool, especially for kids and teens. It's a good game.
Hang on a second, I'm buying this right now. Excuse me.
Yeah, buy it. It's a great game. They're on deck 2 already. I would get both decks if I were you. But what I was going to say about my grandfather was, I grew up without a father because he died when I was just 6 months old. So my grandfather kind of took me on. He kind of took me under his wing. And he would tell me stories about the Great Depression and World War II. And some of the things he told me were just horrible, that he had to fight every day on his way home from school so they didn't rob him or beat him up. And they were talking about they didn't even have shoes sometimes, where they would have to wrap newspapers around their feet. And a lot of people used to joke about my grandfather used to tell me all these crazy stories, like I used to walk 50 miles in the snow without any shoes. But a lot of it, but a lot of it was true, and I do not think people are ready to deal with that type of situation if there ever was another collapse or a depression.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're having a collapse over there right now.
Yeah.
You okay over there?
That's the kids screaming downstairs. I have the office at home upstairs.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not complaining, dude. I got one myself. I understand. What was I going to tell you? So, I've heard the same stories, and again, I don't think they would have gone through that if they had the choice, clearly. And so what you're seeing now with these kids, and, I don't necessarily consider it their fault. They are a product of their environment. They get away with a lot more, and they have a lot more access to materials and resources and opportunities, that even a generation ago we don't have. We just would not even dream of. And so, that's ultimately, it's a good thing that they're in a position to take that for granted, but you also have to educate them that it is that this stuff has been provided to you for a purpose. Don't mistake why this is happening to you. Because if you don't understand why it's happening to you, you won't understand the system. You won't help maintain the system that makes this stuff possible.
And a lot of them just aren't prepared for survival or a collapse, because they wouldn't know what to do if the grid came down. They're hooked on TV, the internet. All they do is watch videos, music videos. They're not really. Some of them are, but we all know most of them are just into having a good time and partying. And it's going to be really scary to see what would happen if anything in your book actually came true.
Well, see, that's the whole thing.
It would be a really
Iron Mountain. See, Jim was that kid, right? He was that kid, and yet because of his circumstances, thankfully, his mom finally had enough. Pulling him out of the ER without poisoning, and threw him in rehab, then kicked him out of the house, and it ultimately probably saved his life because he was away from Los Angeles when the meltdown took place. So, the thing about that is the reality of survival. Just a couple of sobering thoughts. I'm going to share this with you because I think you're tough enough to handle this. If you engender weakness in somebody and they don't survive, I don't know what to tell you, right? It's kind of a shame on you, shame on me, shame on you for not teaching me, shame on me for not figuring it out because I'm a human myself. And then the other thing just to think about is that really in a survival situation, not everyone's going to make it because some people just don't get it, right? Even in 9/11, people did not completely understand what was going on. They're running around with camera phones and stuff like that. It's like, dude, get away. Do you not understand what is about to happen here? You have all of this jet fuel burning, melting the top of this thing. It's going to come down. Get away from the friggin' footprint and, run. People are stumbling around taking pictures, and they should have been running.
So I was listening to your interview on Preparedness Radio last night about Iron Mountain. Right. And these are the next books that I'm going to read because they just look fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It always makes me feel good, dude, when I can write something that people connect with that well. I really enjoy that. So part of me is like, he's saying something nice. Now, I don't know how to handle that, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, did you have the launch party yet, or you're about to have the launch party?
I had a launch party when the book was when we thought the book was ready to go within a couple of weeks, back in November, like the day after Thanksgiving, and then we had it. We had it then, and then of course the delay took place. Now we're coming back to it and launching it to stores again on the 10th. So I'm not necessarily going to have another party, but people are talking about maybe like getting together for a online discussion, especially after they've read the book and they want to talk to me about it. So I'm like, you know what? If you guys want to do that, we'll set up like a Google Hangout. If you've read the book and you want to talk to me about it, by all means, let's do it. So that would be fun.
Oh, that would be great. I love Google Hangout. We do prepping parties every once in a while on Google Hangout.
All right.
I'll invite you to the next one. You should definitely come.
Yeah, no, I'd be glad.
So that's the 10th. The 10th of next month, the book comes out?
Yeah, launching March 10th. The ebook format's already up on Amazon, but it's going to come everywhere else by the 10th of March. So that's what I'm telling everyone the launch date is.
Great. All right, so that sounds good, man. I can't wait. You'll send me a few signed copies.
Oh, a few signed copies. I'll send you 100. That'll be great. Yeah, no, I'll shoot you a copy, man. No worries. And I'll also want to see what you think of it too after that.
All right, great. And we'll do the contest for the meltdown. I really like that idea, the meltdown.
Yeah, I'm definitely do that, man, because I love seeing what people come up with. It's completely wacky. Not wacky in a bad way, just it's like amazing to see how people give back. I really enjoy that. So want to definitely find a way to make this thing interactive and fun for people to play along.
Like most teenagers growing up, I was just totally into TV and partying. I didn't like to read. In fact, I think when I grew up, I had